More than spare you. Mo fẹ́ send gbogbo nǹkan tọ́mọ kan send.
Nígbà tó ń pààkì. Nígbà tó ń pààkì.
People should please mute their mics. So there's so much noise here. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic.
You
did it now, my aunt's question. I'll say me and my mommy were doing it.
Please. Talking about you. If you stand out, what stand out? Stand out is better. I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please, if I'm audible as usual, please can you make use of your emojis? If you are hearing me loud and clear, make use of your chat box and your emojis. Okay, fantastic. Please, I will please appeal to some of our participants that their own way is to disrupt the class by writing on the screen. Please stop writing on the screen. If you know that you don't have anything to do on this call, please exit from the call instead of disrupting us. We are not a baby. We are all adults, mamas and daddies. So don't let us get to the extent that we'll be removing us. By removing you, it will sound as embarrassment by removing you from this call. Please, let's maintain discipline. You are not the one on the call. We have senior officers here too. Permanent secretary are here with us. So stop disturbing us with this form. If you do such again, I will mention your name and remove you. And I will note your name so that you will not join any of our class again. It means you are enemy of progress. So like our normal norms, we first of all call on our supporter union to first address us, since they are the one that support us come to our rescue when we need their support to expand the capacity of this community. Techno, please don't write anything on the screen. Please, I'm begging you. Okay. Let's see if our union leader is here on the call, as usual, to come and give us a moral support. Mr. Chairman.
Hello, good evening.
Okay,
I'm here.
Oh, hold on, sir.
Yeah.
I want it to be on record. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. As usual, I want to use this opportunity to continue to appreciate and everybody for joining this program, and to appreciate our facilitator for taking time out to be here today. And also my appreciation also goes to the coordinator of Knowledge Hub. And as you are aware, that the union, on behalf of Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, Lagos State Branch Leadership, we want to appreciate everyone and we want to wish you success. And also to reiterate that we're in it together. We are here to support you. And that's why we're going this route, to ensure that we give you the moral support, so that at the end of the day, you come out in flying colors, and then we'll find you in your next grade level. And then I want to pray for you that Almighty God will give you that retentive memory, that by the time you get to the examination hall, whatever you want to write, that memory, that answer will come straight to you, to the extent that everything that you're putting together will amount to success. And congratulations in advance. So that's what I have to say now.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Chairman, let's use our emojis to accept that prayer. Let the emojis keep on coming to accept the prayer. God will answer our prayer. We call on Chairman every time to give us that prayer and the moral support for our success. So once again, thank you very much, sir, for your time and your selfless service, you and your entire ESCO. Without wasting much of our time, yes, today's session is very important knowledge area for every public servant, wherever your cadre is or your grade level, as clearly stated in the Civil Service Commission call circular on promotion 2026 promotion exercise. The circular has stated the area of concentration, and if you look at it very well, this particular topic is germane, is part of it. So that is why we are working towards the to cover all the syllabus on the syllabus. Syllabus mean the area are covered on the Civil Service Commission call circular promotion. So officers are expected to understand disciplinary procedure, appeal processes. Please, I will urge us to have our pen and paper. Today's this evening class is very, very important. So, and listen attentively. So, disciplinary processes, appeal processes, and exit regulation in Lagos State Public Service. This knowledge is crucial because many officers face challenges not due to misconduct but because they do not understand the proper administrative path to defend themselves, respond to query, or navigate exit procedure. So understanding disciplinary proceeding, appeal, and exit procedure in Lagos State Public Service are what every officer should know. On these notes, our facilitator, our madam, that's why that we give her short notice. She said, no, Mr. Jami, I have to give back to the society. So let me take the call. I will squeeze myself. Mrs. Grace Olupumi, outstanding. Let me see your emoji so that it will not be a... Am I audible? Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So, like I said, Mrs. Olupumi Olaokun is a seasoned public administrator with over 34 years of outstanding service in the Lagos State Public Service. She has dedicated her career to strengthening administrative institutions, developing human capacity, and monitoring the next generation of excellent public servants. Her passion for grooming competent administrators extends beyond the civil service, into the academic environment, where she continues to guide and inspire emerging leaders in education and public sector management. She is widely respected for her wealth of knowledge, strong leadership value, and commitment to professionalism. Mrs. Olaokun is an alumna of Lagos State University, LASU, where she obtained all her degrees: BA, ED in English, Master in Public Administration, Masters in Early Childhood Education, and PhD in Early Childhood Education in view. That is, Mrs. Olaokun is will soon be doctor. So we can start calling her Dr. Mrs. Olaokun. Our educational foundation begins at St. Paul Anglican Primary School, Idioro, followed by secondary education at New Era Girls High School, Surulere. As she neared the completion of her doctorate program, our focus remained on empowering the younger generation, advancing administrative excellence, and contributing meaningfully to leadership development in both public governance and education. She looked forward to connecting and collaborating with progressive mind and institution committed to public sector transformation, capacity building, and sustainable leadership. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is short brief of Mrs. Olaokun, Dr. Mrs. Olaokun. So I want you to please use your emojis to welcome Dr. Mrs. Olaokun to the call, as she's ready to give us a practical, impactful knowledge this evening. Good evening, ma. You are welcome, ma. Let me try to unmute. Let me unmute you, ma, so that let the emojis keep on coming. You can unmute yourself from your side, from your head, ma.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jamil. Good afternoon or good evening, dear colleagues. Like the union chairman prayed, by the grace of God, you are all going to come out with good success in this examination, and you are going to your next level in the name of Jesus. So we go straight into our topic for today. The topic is understanding disciplinary proceedings, appeal, and exit procedures in Lagos State public and civil service. There are 3 items listed, and they are all very, very important. Number 1, disciplinary proceedings. What is discipline? Discipline has been accepted universally as the practice of training people to adhere to rules and regulations to improve performance and sanctioning them if they do not conform. Another definition of discipline is that it is a system of rules, regulations, and corrective measures designed to ensure that public officers maintain proper conduct, integrity, and accountability in the discharge of their duties. So that is defining discipline. It is self-explanatory. Disciplinary proceedings is the procedure initiated by or at the instance or with the approval of the State Civil Service Commission or any other body against a civil or public servant in accordance with any disciplinary provision in order to establish whether, 1, his conduct in the matter has been in any respect blameworthy, B, it is in the interest of the ministry or department or agency, MDA, where he is employed, and generally in the interest of the civil service as a whole. So what is that talking about? That is simply telling you that, yes, disciplinary process is always initiated at the MDA. MDA is simply ministry, department, and agency. It will be one of the simple questions in your CBT, most likely. So we want to establish during the disciplinary process, is the conduct of that reported about the officer, is it really blameworthy? Can it be excused? And secondly, we want to know, is it in the interest of the MDA where he is employed and in the interest of the civil service generally? So we want to see whether the officer is sanctionable or can be forgiven or can be reprimanded. We'll get to that stage. Now, offenses. Mr. Jamil, please change the slides for me. The offenses that attract disciplinary procedures are 1, general inefficiency, 2, misconduct, and 3, serious misconduct. Those are the key areas that disciplinary process come in. What do we mean by general inefficiency? This is the inability of the officer to discharge his or her duty to the required standard, with the effect that the officer is not capable of efficiently discharging the duties of the office he holds. He has an office, he has some assignment to carry out, but he's not doing it well. That is inefficiency. This consists of a series of omissions, inability to discharge duties to the required standard, the cumulative effect of which shows the officer cannot discharge his duty efficiently. A few officers have been eased out of the system for inefficiency, general inefficiency, inability to do the work for which he or she was employed. The next disciplinary issue, I mentioned three. I mentioned general inefficiency, misconduct, and serious misconduct. Now, when we talk of misconduct, what is it? This is defined as a specific act of wrongdoing or improper behavior which can be investigated and proved. It can also lead to termination or retirement. When we talk of retirement, that is talking about compulsory retirement. It includes a willful act or omission or general misconduct to the scandal of the public or to the prejudice of discipline and proper administration of the government. Any offense, this you can find in chapter 2 of our PSR. PSR is simply Public Service Rules. And that is section 4. And I took time to list it out. I don't know why I'm not able to change my slide. Mr. Jamil, please, if you can, I will appreciate so that we can speak.
Oh, okay, man. Let me bring. You can bring down your slide. Let me bring it up here.
Okay.
I'll bring down your slide, man.
Thank you. I have brought it down.
Okay, man.
So the offense is classified as misconduct. Misconduct is the second thing we are talking about. We've spoken about general inefficiency. Now misconduct. Different.
Do you see my? Sorry, ma.
Yes.
Do you see my slide? Do you see the slide, ma?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, let me know whenever you want me to change the slide.
Yes, please go to the next slide. We have discussed the next one now. Misconduct. Yes, we have defined misconduct. Offenses classified as misconduct. This you can find in your Public Service Rule, Chapter 4, Section 4, subsection 01. It is 04041. And I'll quickly run through: dishonesty, drunkenness, false claims against government, foul language, insubordination, negligence, falsification or suppression of records, failure to keep records, sleeping on duty, loitering, unruly behavior, dereliction. Mr. Jamil, please go to the next slide so that they can see the offenses. Dereliction of duty, failure to fulfill one's obligation, habitual lateness to work, refusal to proceed on transfer or accept the next one, or accept posting, refusal to carry out lawful instructions from superior officer, engaging in trade or business without authority, improper dressing while on duty. All these are regarded as misconduct. Misconduct. And many of these things, many of us, we take it for granted. And I thank God that you're going through this lecture so that some of the things we do and we feel it doesn't matter. You know that we attend disciplinary proceedings, we know that all these things, though they may look small, that is the truth about this. You can see, I know you can see something you've been doing that you never knew that sleeping on duty is an offense. You never knew that hanging on the corridor, just gisting, and some other people will even be making noise. Some don't know, especially some of our uniformed officers. In the morning, they have taken that small sachet and their mouth is stinking. Drunkenness. So all these are misconducts. So don't mix misconduct with serious misconduct. Yes, they are disciplinary issues, and it can lead to termination or compulsory retirement. So may God not allow us to meet an enemy as a boss that will not overlook some of these things and want to take the person to the highest and follow up. We'll see that there are processes as we go on. Please, the next slide. We just finished with misconduct. Now, go the next slide, Mr. Jamil. Serious misconduct. What is serious misconduct? This is defined as a specific act of very serious wrongdoing and improper behavior, which is inimical to the image of the service and can be investigated, and if proven, may lead to dismissal. These are more grievous than the misconduct. That is why the serious is beside it. So this you don't joke with. Anyone found guilty, such a one is on his or her way out. And it's better to avoid it than to feel that I am well connected, I can do these things and go scot-free. Know that nobody wants to identify with an offender. So what are serious? In fact, I took time so that by the time you have the slides, you won't be scared to go through the slides. Some of us are scared of going through the PSR. It can be quite overwhelming. So I took time to list them out. There are 30 serious acts of misconduct. And these are falsification of records. Some officers were just, their appointments were terminated not too long ago because at the point of entry, they presented fake certificates. Some of them, from their explanation, they were just desperate, and the school was not ready to give them the certificate, so they went to do it. But an offense is an offense. So their appointments were terminated. Suppression of records, withholding of files. Some of us, you are in an office, especially those in revenue generation area. and you feel that you can go or man, you just keep the file, and you are trying to withhold files. Then some information that you should disclose, that's suppression of record. Information that should be free, you are now hiding it. The moment you are discovered, it can lead to dismissal. Number 4, conviction on a criminal charge other than a minor traffic or sanitary offense or the like. Some have been, if you find yourself in such a situation, convicted, it is better for such an officer, the moment you discover that, go to your permanent secretary, report to your superior officer, through whom you go to the permanent secretary and confide in them. This happened though. These people came to my house, so thing happened in my family, and it is being treated as a criminal, so that your office will be aware, not that they will be the one to write. It is a grievous offense. It's a serious misconduct. Absence from duty without leave, that is very common. You too, I'm sure you will know 1 or 2 people in your ministry who have just disappeared without leave. False claims against government officials, lying against somebody because you want to gain favor, that is engaging in partisan political activities. Somebody may say, are we not all political animals? Yes, but I was on a PMB, and that officer was sanctioned, was being disciplined for being involved in political activities. They all knew that, yes, I have APC card, I am a card carrying member, but if the ships are down, it is not in line with the PSR. Next slide, bankruptcy or serious financial embarrassment. If you are taking loan, you took loan from your bank, salary, where you are getting your salary, you took housing loan, you took this loan, you took that loan, and at the end of the day, your take home is not enough to take you home. That's an offense. There was this time, maybe around 2021, there was a circular that came out that if your salary is not up to so amount, such people should be sanctioned. So it is an offense. Unauthorized disclosure of official information, it is serious misconduct. As a civil servant, we are to be seen and not to be heard. You don't just start saying things about official matters in the public. And there was one procedure I went for. The officer claimed that he's the CDA chairman. So he was just saying those things because he knew them. He was sanctioned. So, or if you are to let out any official information, it must be with permission, no matter who you are, as long as you are a civil or public servant. Taking bribe. I know it is a common thing in revenue generating MDAs, but please note that it is a serious misconduct. So if you are involved in that, please reduce it or stop it, so that when you are caught, you won't say you don't know. Many people claim that I didn't know, I didn't read the PSR. So now that you are knowing, you can tell your subordinates about it. Corruption, embezzlement, misappropriation, violation of oath of secrecy, action prejudicial to the security of the state, and advanced fraud, 419, they are all criminal, they are all serious misconduct that can lead to dismissal. There was this meeting, this PMB discipline I witnessed of officers, well-respected, misappropriating the government fund. It's, you know what? They were made to pay back the money and they were eased out of the system. Some of them felt, me and all that. They tried, they wrote, we'll go to appeal. They appealed. But it didn't fly because they don't have any defense for that attitude, for that action. It's a serious misconduct. Next slide, please. Holding more than one full-time paid job is an offense. We went for one disciplinary, I'm director of discipline and exit, so I attend a lot. The officer, he's a driver, and he felt he was very smart. He will be given excuses, and until one day, the director of admin and human resource said, okay, there is this official assignment, pick me so place, and all that. You know, the guy, his usual self, he didn't come. And that was how he's been doing it. So he felt business as usual. The bus I was driving before, this one cannot do anything. You know what we finally discovered? That the guy was having another job. So don't say, is it possible? It is very possible, especially these younger officers who are just maybe where they were working, they just feel government job. You don't need to be so committed. You can just do it and combine. It is serious misconduct. Nepotism or any other preferential treatment, divided loyalty, sabotage, willful damage of public property. If you need further explanation when we get to the question time, please don't hesitate to ask. Fighting while on duty, membership of courts, failure to appear for promotion exercise without reasonable cause, and insubordination, malicious or false whistleblowing. You just raise alarm. Oh, guy, I saw this person. If you are discovered, it is serious misconduct. Battery, assault, and any other serious act unbecoming of a public officer. There are many more offenses, but these 30 were listed in our public service rule. So for any officer whose offense are more than, some, when they are brought for PMB like that, they are guilty of insubordination, they are guilty of this, they are guilty of that. So in most cases, we'll just zero it down under any other serious act unbecoming of a public officer. So for both misconduct and serious misconduct, there are Sanctions. 10 sanctions listed in the Public Service Rule. Chapter 4, Section 5 and subsection 3. Dismissal, reduction in rank, reduction in salary, withholding of deferment of increment, surcharge, reprimand, suspension, termination of appointment, compulsory retirement, or suspension of increment. All these are the sanctions for all the offenses we have listed. So I pray that none of us will fall prey of any of these offenses. Now, next slide, Mr. Jami. Disciplinary procedure for misconduct and serious misconduct. It's the same process. It shall be the duty of every superior officer, as soon as he observes any fault or shortcoming in the work or attitude of an officer subordinate to him, to bring such behavior to the officer's attention. What is this talking about? As a superior officer, once you notice that your subordinate is misbehaving, don't just look away. Don't just say it doesn't matter. Your duty as the superior is to call the person. Lagbaja, come here. Why are you so fond of coming late? I have observed you. You come to work 12 noon every day. You come telling stories. You should talk to them. And you let him know, please, I want you to change. That's the first step. Just sort of, see around. If the officer did not listen to you, if there are no changes, no problem. The next step is you are going to take the officer through a counseling or mentoring or coaching session. And these sessions, you must make sure you record it. It must be recorded. You can do a video and you can do a writing of the process, because disciplinary procedure has started. If anybody is treating you like that, don't say, if you are going through a counseling or mentoring or coaching session and it is being recorded, nobody will tell you that it's being recorded. And for the ogas, you must record it. The essence of the sessions is to improve the officer's efficiency and usefulness in the service. That is just if the officer, to listen, thank you very much, ma. And you see that the person is changing. If he needs some assistance, you have given everything you can. And if the officer did not still change, we go to step 3. If the superior officer did not see any changes in the attitude of the officer, it shall still be his duty to inform the officer in writing, giving details of unsatisfactory behavior and directing him to submit within 24 hours or 48 hours his representation as in a wish to exculpate himself from disciplinary action. Tell the officer, you do a query. There was one I did in my office. They all believed that. That's my favorite. That. When I called for his file, they were like, hey, he's Is she joking? Is the director serious? I did. I wrote the query. And you know the good news, it helped the officer. Probably he had taken it for granted that I can always have my way with her. That after that query, he knew that he couldn't always have his way. And there were positive changes. So giving an officer a query makes that officer to come back to his or her senses and to start doing things right. So you give a query. And if he wishes, inside your query, later on, you will see a sample of how you can write a query. Many of us don't give queries because we don't know how to go about it. Thank God this opportunity is here for us. So copy of such query. Another word we use, or that was used in the PSR, is preliminary letter of preliminary objection. So this query or the letter of preliminary objection shall be sent to the admin and HR department where these actions will be taken further. Yes, please, the next slide. After considering, you have stated in that query, if you wish to submit any representation, please do so to the undersigned and all that. After considering such written representation as the officer may make within the specified time, the superior officer shall decide whether the officer has exculpated himself, that is, he has more, explain, he has good reasons why he did that. If the superior officer notices or is satisfied with the presentation and believes that the officer has actually exculpated himself, such will be informed him in writing. No, at this rate, we have gone official. So everything must be done in writing. Yes, I received the answer to your query, and based on your explanation, you have been exculpated. But please note, such actions should not come up again. It must be in writing, and that will be the end of it. But don't forget, it is in record and it is in the file. Number two, if the officer did not exculpate himself, but it is decided that he should not be punished, probably some other senior directors have gone to the boss and said, so in such a case, the superior officer feels, okay, let's not punish him, but he will still be written. An appropriate formal letter of advice shall be issued to him, and he shall be required to acknowledge receipts in writing. He will need to acknowledge that, I received your letter. We are not punishing you for this offense. However, please note that it is not an acceptable behavior. So you will acknowledge it. It is also going into the file. They are piling it up for him or her. The next number, the third way, if the officer has not exculpated himself, Exculpate is not a big English if he has not succeeded in explaining and defending himself so that everybody will know that he didn't do it intentionally, or the meaning we have put into that action was not actually what was meant by the officer. If the officer has not exculpated himself or herself and deserves to be brought before a PMB, Personnel Management Board, disciplinary, a written report shall be forwarded to the permanent secretary or the head of the extra-ministerial department or agency by the director, admin, and human resource. At this level, you have, handed the work over to the admin, the directorate or department, whose job is to ensure that discipline is maintained. Documents that shall be attached to the report sent to the accounting officer include the queries issued to the officer, evidence of the receipt of the queries by the officer, and responses of the officer to the queries. And with the approval of the accounting officer of the MDA, a date will be fixed to have a personnel management board discipline. Next slide, please. Now, please, I want you to take time to know this. These are very important. Composition of a personnel management board meeting. We have 3 levels. I'm explaining now. Okay, it will still be there. We have 3 levels of this PMB. We have the junior, we have the senior, and we have the management. So, for Civil Service Commission, where I am, we deal with the senior. So for officers on grade level 07 to grade level 12, there must be a permanent secretary, 1 permanent secretary, 3 substantive directors, representatives of the Civil Service Commission, representatives of the Office of Establishment and Training, representative of the Ministry of Justice, and representative of the Supervising Ministry. Officers, some are in general duties, like we, the admin, cadre, and even engineers are posted everywhere. ICT officers, they are in various offices. So if there is a disciplinary process, the representative of the ministry must be present, if it is being held in the place where the officer is serving, not necessarily his parent's ministry. Next slide. The next composition is about the levels 13 to 17. If the officer is on grade level 13 to grade level 17, there must be 3 permanent secretaries, 5 substantive directors, representatives of the Civil Service Commission, representatives of the Ministry of Establishment and Training, representatives of the Ministry of Justice, representatives of the Supervising Ministry, and representatives of the Public Service Office. I will tell you why. They must be here because the officer is in the management cadre and you are especially a level 17, level 16, level 15, they must be there because they are representing the head of service. The next slide, please. So I want to, okay, please go to the next one. I spoke about the next one, please. Another one, the next. Yes, no, go back. Yes, for officers on grade level 01 to 06, the chairman of that PMB will be the Director, Admin and Human Resource, and there will be 3 deputy directors present. The representative of Ministry of Establishment must be there because all the junior officers are under their beat. Representative of Ministry of Justice and representative of the Supervising Ministry. I put PSO there because in the current scheme of things, all these levels 1 to 6 are being handled by the PSO. So they must be present. Now go back, Alaji, I'm sorry. Yes, the format, the format of a query. I know if you can just have this with you, it will be very easy to issue query. Number 1, the name, you must address the letter. The name of the officer, the designation, and the grade level of the officer must be written. Then I said title. You will write query. It is a query, you put it there. Query. Then your paragraph 1. I gave different examples. I picked it from the PSR. It's easy, you can easily go there. I wish to draw your attention to the fact, you now continue. Or it has been brought to my notice that your work or your conduct is unsatisfactory in the following respect. You will state, you come late, you get to work by 12 noon every day, or reports keep coming from the public that you collect money from them without paying it into the government, rather than telling them to go and pay into the government government purse. So you will state, you will list all those offenses in your paragraph 1. And your paragraph 2, you will now write, if you desire to submit any representations as to why disciplinary action, which might include dismissal or termination, should not be taken against you, they should be submitted to me, the undersigned, through whatever, within 24 hours, within 48 hours of receipt of this letter. Failure to submit any representation within this time limit will be taken to mean that you do not wish to make any, an appropriate disciplinary action will be taken against you. Here, you have told the officer, I have given you a query. You can choose to answer the question. You can choose to answer the question. You may choose not to, but peradventure you want to answer, please let it get to me within 24 hours, or within 48 hours of the receipt of this letter. Whether you write or you don't, whether you reply or you don't reply, disciplinary action will continue. Some people will say they won't collect it or they won't reply so that they won't be able to continue. It's a lie. They will continue. And by not responding, by not explaining, by not pleading, that officer is putting his or herself in more trouble. At least if you write and you say, I'm sorry, it's not intentional, please. If there are ways you can write and plead. That can even be the saving grace of such an officer. And another officer may decide, there was one that wrote, yes, why are they harassing me in this query? I'm being harassed. I didn't do this. We took her up seriously. Who do you think you are? How dare you write in such a manner? Once it is a written document, you must be very careful because you don't know the extent it will go. Next slide, please. Mr. Jami, are you with us? Okay, I continue. I have my backup here. So, okay, thank you. Invitation letter for personnel management board meeting and the minutes of the meeting. Letters of invitation shall be sent to the officer. The officer who is being sanctioned or who is to face the disciplinary process must be notified. And it is very important that the officer must acknowledge. There must be an acknowledgement of that, of the receipt of that letter of invitation, to be sure that the officer was invited, because some bosses too can be very wicked. They may not send it and they will come and we sent it to the officer. He's very rude. He's very this. So that is why we can go ahead with this disciplinary procedure. We don't ever agree. We want to see the acknowledged copy, the receipt copy, where the officer or the family member signed that original copy received by me. So it's not that you have disciplinary process on an officer tomorrow, and it is today you are now taking the letter to the house. It is not acceptable. You should give the person enough notice so that 3 days minimum before the day of the meeting, informing him that on a specific day, his matter would be presented to the board and he shall be required to appear before it to defend himself and shall be entitled to call witnesses. In the same way as the person that is the offender is notified, all the board members shall be sent letters of invitation for the meeting. For commission, we always tell them, give us enough notice, because we don't just come for disciplinary meetings. We want to have the queries, we want to have the responses to the queries, we want to analyze and assess with our internal lawyer to know, okay, what are the flaws here? Is anything wrong with the way the query was coined? Will this lead to litigation if we allow this to fly? So we don't allow them to just give us a rush walk. You won't tell me that you have a disciplinary PMB discipline on Monday and you are bringing the file on Friday. Even those in the registry will not take it from you, because this is somebody's destiny that we are going to determine. So why shouldn't we do due process? So it is for our general information. If it is your ministry that make sure that is setting up a PMB, give enough notice. I know MOJ to Ministry of Justice, they also want to see these things, so that when we get to the meeting, okay, we are speaking from the point of knowledge, not ignorance, not assumption. And we don't want the government to be taken to court. Don't forget, the industrial court is there. We don't want litigation. We don't want the government to keep losing money. So that is why enough notice must be given. And the minutes of meeting shall be sent to board members within 48 hours and forwarded to the Civil Service Commission within 48 hours or thereabout. Some, you know why we are trying to put time to these things? After the disciplinary process, the minutes must be brought to the commission. The commission will be, there will be, submissions written on all those matters. And it will be considered by all the commission members before it gets to the chairman. So it takes time. And we need to be careful here and not just after the meeting, everybody just go on their own and you forget about the minutes. Somebody's destiny is being held on hold, is on hold. Anyone, any officer who is on disciplinary process cannot participate in promotion exercise. This present promotion exercise that is ongoing. This promotion exercise that is ongoing, the Department of Career Management, they will always, at the beginning of the exercise, they will request from D&E. My directorate is Discipline and Exit. Who are those on disciplinary matter? So if the officer's matter was considered last year, May, and the minute was not brought on time, such an officer cannot participate in the promotion exercise. When this promotion process started, some people were now calling, some were visiting, this matter, that matter, until the commission gives approval or otherwise on the decision of the Personnel Management Board. You cannot suspend, you cannot carry out the sanctions until approval is given. And once the approval is given for the officer that is to be dismissed, we will write the letter of dismissal, suspension, we'll write. So until it comes from the commission, it cannot be implemented. So that is why we should take it very, very serious and work within that time lag so that everybody can be in safe hand. If the officer needs to go for 2 months suspension. Please, let's do it on time so that 2 months suspension will not become, he will just be hanging until commission now decides, maybe after one year, if the minutes come late, he will still go for that suspension. The officer might even have forgotten that he had faced a PNB, and I think that is not so nice. Then an issue that I want to mention under this PNB issue is that about 2 years back, the chairman of the commission, there was a meeting, a PNB, I was present for myself, and the officer happens to be from a ministry of, one of the ministries, I think, I can't remember which ministry, or rather I don't want to mention. So, and the decision was dismissal. So we did the submission, and the chairman said, no. Where was this decision taken? I said, at where he's working, where he's posted to. She said no. She said no. At the point when the commission was to take a decision, the decision was now that we should write that that ministry, the parent ministry of the officer, should hold that PNB again for the officer. Such a sensitive decision cannot just be taken outside of the parent ministry. So it was since that time that anytime we go for PNB discipline and the officer is a poll officer, that is not the parent ministry, we always say no, please, you can't hold this PNB. Make a report, send to the parent ministry, and the parent ministry will be the ones to hold that PNB. So, you know, there are so many things here in the PSR. We are all aware that there is a review going on. In fact, it is really due for review. And what the chairman said was right. And that has really helped us. In fact, there was one, the PNB had been held, and the new commission was to now sit on it for fair hearing. You know, after the minute is brought and we do our submission, they now, when the case is to be considered by the commission, there is what we call fair hearing. Officers, those officers that face the PNB will be invited by the commission. That's one of the functions of the commission. So that it shouldn't be, oh, it's because the PS does not like that officer and wants the officer out of the system by all means. Maybe that was why that PNB decision went that way. The role of the commission is to ensure that the officer is given fair hearing. So such officers will be invited. So it was at such a time that we observed that this meeting, this PNB discipline, held many months back, but one officer among them is a pool officer. That is not the parent ministry. Do you know that? We told them, the commission informed that ministry that they should make a report of the officer and send to PSO, that is the parent ministry, for another PMB to be held. So all other officers' issues were considered except that. So, and it was done. So that is why, rather than wasting resources and just arranging PMB discipline for officers that are not, you are not the parent ministry, it's waste of resources. It's better, if you are not so clear, you can call in, we advise you. Our work, our job, our role is to advise, give counsel. Okay, don't do it. Don't waste your money. Write the report, send to the parent ministry, and you will let them know the urgency and it will be held. So I learned that earlier today, a discussion went around that. That was how we came about that. The next slide, please. So nothing shall prevent disciplinary action being taken against an officer, whether or not criminal proceedings have been instituted with respect to such a person in a court of law in Nigeria or elsewhere. That is talking about officer who is facing criminal charge. Yes, the criminal aspect is being handled by the court, but the administrative aspect can still be held by the office, and it will be standing. It will stand the test of times. Next slide, please. Now let's go to appeal. That is in PSR 100-102, Chapter 10, Section 1, Subsection 2, up to Subsection 4. What is an appeal? If an officer is not satisfied with the decision made, which affects him directly or indirectly, a representation shall be made to the permanent secretary or the head of extra-ministerial department or agency, the GM, the DG. If the representation is not successful, a formal appeal can be made. Every officer who has any representation to make to the state government shall address it to the chairman, Civil Service Commission, or the chairman of any other such body, or to the head of service himself. What are we talking about here? When the disciplinary process is concluded and the commission has invited the officer for fair hearing and a decision has been taken and communicated in writing to the officer may be dissatisfied. They feel, I can't be, my appointment should not be terminated. Oh no, it's unfair for me to be dismissed from the service. That is where appeal and comes in. So you can appeal, but even in appealing, you must. There are rules that guides it for it to even be considered at all. Next slide, please. A petition is a formal appeal. So when we talk of appeal and petition, yes, you are petitioning, you are appealing. No, I feel this is injustice. And guess what? It is lawyers that help most of them. to write this petition and appeals. It is a formal appeal to the ultimate authority, that is, to the head of government, for special consideration of a matter affecting an officer personally. But for it to even be considered at all, it must have the following detail. The officer must write his name, his address. In most cases, most people that write these petitions and appeals are already out of the system. Maybe the appointment has been terminated, or they have been dismissed, or they have been compulsorily retired. So your name, your address, the oracle number, and the signature must be there for it to even get any attention. Next slide, please. A petition shall be submitted through the immediate superior officer where the person worked last. He must pass through. You can't just bring it straight to the chairman, Civil Service Commission. No. There was a place, and commission too, we don't write the officers directly when we are communicating or sending the mail, the correspondence. It is always through the accounting officer, the permanent secretary, or the GM, and all that. So the immediate superior officer, the permanent secretary or head of the extra-ministerial department or agency shall forward the petition with his comments and recommendations to the chairman, Civil Service Commission, or any other such body, or the head of service, based on what is obtainable at the time. And this petition must be in triplicate. So it will pass through the superior officer, through the permanent secretary, and the permanent secretary is expected to write his or her comments. Okay, this officer, before he was dismissed, was a very diligent officer. In fact, he was a first offender, and I think it will be noteworthy if the commission can consider his appeal and take him back. And it could be, this officer who has appealed is a serial offender. You won't be there. The PS will write and send it to the commission. So the petition shall be submitted in triplicate. So when the 3 copies are submitted to your parent ministry through your immediate boss, an advanced copy can be sent directly to the appropriate authority, and a copy shall be retained by the accounting officer in the personnel's file. Next slide, please. I know you are noting your questions. There are some petitions that cannot be entertained at all. Number 1, if that petition does not comply with what we said, that the name, the address, and all that, if it deals with a case in which legal action is pending in a court of law, the officer has, like I told you, an officer who is in a criminal case can be, the disciplinary action can still continue on him or her. why the system can decide to dismiss him, do whatever. So if such a case, if that person is still in court, he cannot appeal. If the content of the petition is illegible or meaningless, it will not be considered. If it is anonymous, it will not be considered. If it is worded in abusive, improper, or foul language, it won't be considered. And if it merely repeats the substance of a previous petition without introducing new relevant facts, it will not be considered. And note, if the petition or appeal is submitted more than 6 months after the date of the decision complained of, except it is backed by valid reasons for the delay, it will not be considered. So once the case is, the letter was released over 6 months before the officer starts appealing, he must have very, very genuine reasons for such a petition or an appeal to be considered. Next slide, please. Now we go into exit. Exit. We have spoken about disciplinary procedures. We have spoken about appeals and petitions. Now, exit matters. There are 4 ways in which an officer may leave the state civil service. There is this, I'm coming, sorry, let me quickly go back to the book, to the PSR, that's our Bible. An officer can exit. Exit matters is in chapter 2 of the PSR, chapter 2 of the Public Service Rule. So an officer can exit in this that I have listed. These are, apart from this dismissal, termination, abolition of office, incapacitation, invalidation, and death, there are ways of exit. Some are disciplinary, some cannot be helped. Incapacitation cannot be helped. Invalidation cannot be helped. Death cannot be helped. But let us look at the ones that can be helped, that we easily identify with. Dismissal is punitive. Termination is punitive. Abolition of office is not punitive, but such officers will be compensated in one way or the other. So there are 4 major ways. There was a mix-up in that slide. I think I'll correct it so that... Next slide, please. 4 ways an officer in any established grade level may exit the service. These words were used in the PSR, not just for using them sake. They are intentionally picked. Intentional in the sense that some offices have non-pensionable staff that they harbor. Those are not, it's not those ones we are talking about here. We are talking about those who were employed by the system and they are in established grade level. So those are our focus. So resignation, withdrawal, retirement, and what's the fourth one? Redundancy. Those are the 4 major ways of exiting the system. An officer who has not served up to 5 years, not up to 5 years, maybe 1, 2, 3, or by the 3rd year, he feels, I don't want again. Or after the 1st year, we treat that here. I still saw one. He was employed in January, and he has sent in his resignation letter. So an officer who has not served up to 5 years, but decides to leave the civil of public service, he shall be required to give 1 month notice of his intention to leave, or he will pay 1 month's salary in lieu of notice. Please just cram it. Resignation, less than 5 years, is to give 1 month notice or pay 1 month salary in lieu of notice. Withdrawal. An officer who has spent 5 years but less than 10 years, if he decides to leave the state civil or public service, he shall also be required to give 1 month's notice of his intention or pay 1 month's salary in lieu of notice. So you can see what they have in common. The only difference is one has not spent up to 5 years, but one has spent up to 5 years, but less than 10 years. But both of them, whether resignation or withdrawal, they are to give 1 month notice or pay 1 month's salary in lieu of notice. Now, come to retirement. An officer who has served for 10 years or more and decides to leave the state civil or public service, he is deemed to have retired voluntarily. And if you are going voluntarily, you are to give 6 months notice or pay 3 months salary in lieu of notice. This one has spent over 10 years and he wants to leave. 6 months notice is what he should give. And if he feels that 6 months it is too long a time for him to wait, he is expected to pay 3 months salary in lieu of notice. Next slide, please. Now, when we talk of retirement, we can, we have statutory retirement. An officer who has spent 35 years in service or is 60 years of age is expected to go statutorily. That is the bar. You can't, once you are 60 years of age, the system will exit you, even if you are trying to play games. So many people come to change date of birth, because they want to keep becoming 40 years instead of 60 years. But there is a system in place that the moment you are 60, you are cut off the salary, the oracle payroll, or if you are 35 years in service. So this is with exemption of judicial officers and academic staff of tertiary institutions that are required to retire at 65 years of age. So the fifth type of exit is redundancy, where an officer's service is no longer required by reason of redundancy. That is, where the need for a particular job diminishes or ceases completely. If the work, like, they are trying to ease off the secretarial cadre gradually. So if an officer, a secretarial officer, who ought to have, started doing some other courses so that he can do conversion to other cadre, if he or she doesn't do that, there will be a time that job will no longer be needed. And such officer shall be paid 3 months' salary in lieu of notice and will receive a redundancy payment in line with the statutory requirements. The last slide is still on that redundancy. If there is an office in the permanent establishment which is still remaining where similar functions are being performed, the permanent secretary shall make recommendation to the commission or the governor, giving reasons as to where the substantive holder of such office shall be redeployed. What that means is, if there is another ministry or agency that is doing a similar work to, maybe there were duplication of duty and this particular agency is no longer needed, rather than taking all the officers or giving them a redundancy notice, giving them 3 months' salary in lieu of notice, and working on their retirement process, the permanent secretary can take up his pen and write to the chairman, Civil Service Commission, or to the governor that, please, sir, these officers, they're very, very useful, they're hardworking, they're this, and I think they have this qualification, that qualification, their services will be very, very germane in so-so agency, so-so ministry. Please kindly use your good office to redeploy them. And such can also be done. And on that note, I say thank you for listening to me. Thank you for giving me your attention.
Thank you very much, Ma. Let me see your emojis come up to appreciate Madam for this practical, insightful session. Let me see coming. We are almost about 1,000 participants, and we have almost about 600 participants on our YouTube channel. So please let me see your emojis. Yes, I know you have questions to ask, and as usual, you know the rules and regulation here before you ask your question, because presently now Madam is still at office because of us, which I know that most of us have been at their own bed watching this. So we need to make it snappy so that Madam can go home early and take care of our beautiful children. Without wasting much of our time, I believe we all learn one or two things. The question and answer time is just for clarity, so no story. You should have learned from different case studies that Madam have provided, and I believe get into any multiple choice question called CBT, and they come across anything like discipline appeal and what have you, in the GV, you just mark AB, and move on. So with what you learned today. All right, let me call on Musa Diku. Please, the rule is that you your name, your ministry. Please don't ask any question that's not has to do with this topic. Read the topic very well, and I hope you listen carefully with the madam. So don't ask any question, and don't ask any question maybe that maybe you want madam to solve it here. No, if you want official, go and meet her in office. She will do justice to that and guide you accordingly. But due to the knowledge and what we have on board, ask your question that we all will learn from it. Thank you very much. So unmute yourself, Musaku Adetola.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jami, for correcting my name. Musaku Adetola is my name.
Thank you. All right.
Office Director, Ministry of the Environment, LASEPA, precisely. So I want to appreciate our upcoming Dr. Mrs. Olubumi Olaokun for this lecture tonight. It's a very clear and understanding lecture. Perfect analysis of everything. It's as if we are just, I'm just sipping it as you were saying it. But my question is, I want to ask for the we say that an officer on secondment, cannot be set on PMB at the secondment established office. 1. Officer on secondment cannot be set on PMB at the secondment established office. Secondly, who determines the disciplinary action of a contract staff, a temporary staff, or a part-time staff? Then 3, can abolition of office lead to redundancy of an officer? And if that is the case, what can they do to the officer? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Musaku Adetola.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, your first question is, can an officer who is on secondment be placed on PMB? Did I get it right? Oh, she's not there anymore. Yes, the officer on secondment can be placed on disciplinary process. What happens is the initiating place is where the officer is working. That is where he must have committed whatever offense. So they are the ones to give him the queries. They are the ones to do the first counseling. Don't forget counseling, money counseling, and all that stuff at the beginning. They are the ones that will give him query. They are the ones that will monitor. But when it comes to the disciplinary action being taken, the meeting, a report should be made on that officer on secondment to the ministry where he was brought from. And that PMB will be set at the parent ministry for the officer. The reason being that it could be a decision that will lead to termination or dismissal. So they can't do it where he is on secondment. But what they are to do is to write reports, attach the queries, the responses, and forward to the parent ministry of the officer. What was your second question? Mrs. Mosaku, please allow her to talk to me. Thank you, Mr. Jami.
All right. Okay, ma. Let me. Okay, madam, unmute yourself.
Okay, ma. Yeah. My second question was, who determines the disciplinary action of a contract staff, a project staff, or a temporary staff, or part-time staff?
The government and labor law does not recognize contract staff.
Okay.
Or whatever temporary staff.
Project staff or
In such a place, you are on your own. And since you are the one keeping them, you are the one responsible. You will set your PMB. You will end their contract. You will suspend them. You will do whatever. They are your baby. The government is not aware. The labor law doesn't want to hear.
Okay. Very well.
Thank you.
The third one was, can abolition of office lead to redundancy of an officer? And if so, what can they do to help the officer?
Yes, that was the very last slide. Redundancy, especially if the officer is a good hand. The permanent secretary is to do a report to Mr. Governor or the Civil Service Commission, making a case for such officers, telling the system that these officers should not just be allowed to go with the abolition of that ministry, that agency, that the officer, there is a ministry or an agency where the officer can fit in. So it's the work of the permanent secretary to do that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you very much, ma. Thank you, Mrs. Adetola. Bello OA, you have the floor. Your name, your ministry. Bello, unmute yourself. Bello. Okay, it's not. Bello is not with us. Okay, another Bello, Ajibola Bello. Unmute yourself.
Okay, good evening, sir. And good evening, Dr. Good evening. Thank you so much, sir, for the insightful session and well explained with instances. Really appreciate you, ma. God bless you, ma. My question is on this letter of preliminary objection and query. Is the letter of preliminary objection, is it the response to a query issue? That is one. Then two, on the means of exit from the service, can we say that the four means of exit from the service are through redundancy, resignation, withdrawal, and retirement, ma'am? Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, it's a yes to your last question. Yes,
All
those
right.
are the first exit method: withdrawal, resignation, retirement, and redundancy.
What about
the
death, ma'am?
other ways of exiting an officer, these ones that we spoke about, you are the one that, apart from redundancy, the first three, you are the one writing that I want to leave, I want to go. Apart from the statutory retirement, when at 60 you must go, at 35 years in service you must go. So
your network is
and
dragging.
there are other ways that they help the officer to go: dismissal, termination, compulsory retirement. So those are also ways of exiting the service. Then query and letter, I said query or letter of preliminary objection. They are the same thing. So as your title, you know, I told you your title must be there. You can either write query or you write letter of preliminary objection. It's just that when you write letter of preliminary objection, anybody seeing it will know, this person, no going bogo, you know, it looks attractive and it is in the PSR. They are the same.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma.
Okay.
God bless you, ma.
Amen. Any more questions? Somebody is raising his hand, Mr. Jamil.
All right, ma. Sorry, network kicked me out.
Okay.
Sorry, ma. Okay. Bisiriyu Kabiru, you have the floor. Your name, your ministry.
My name is Bisiriyu Kabiru Olawale. I'm the Minister of the Environment and Water Resources. Thank you so much, ma, for the lecture, and thank you for the convener. You have discussed handling disciplinary procedures of handling disciplinary issues concerning single officers. But what if an officer in the managerial cadre, management bracket, observe that there's a clique in his unit, not one person, not two persons, not three persons, but they have formed a clique to sabotage his work. And he has the mandate to deliver to his superior, maybe the accounting officer, to the commissioner. How will he have, of course, the sitting arrangement can come in form of a departmental meeting, whether they are coming late to work, they are not handling their work very well, they are not delivering very well. But how will you handle the issue of query? Is it going to be joint disciplinary measures? Do you take all your team to the disciplinary board? How will you handle that? Thank you, ma'am.
The Bible says wisdom is the principal thing, and with all your getting, get understanding. For an officer, a manager, a management staff in such a case that finds his or herself in such condition, he needs to apply plenty of wisdom. Plenty of wisdom. You can't carry everybody. It shows that you yourself, you are a failure. Because everybody can't just be bad. We should check that person. So if I know I can't find myself in such, but peradventure, I find myself in such a condition, I will start handling the officers one after the other. Personal touch. You invite them to your office. Please, can you tell me what are the things I do that you don't like? Do you understand? If everybody have now formed a clique, everybody will let me issue at the same time. And that is why, as a leader, you must be up and doing. Don't be a leader that you are not leading by example. You must lead by example. And once they believe in you, all of them, yes, some but some are reasonable. So if I were that supervisor, I'll start relating with them one after the other. After doing the one-on-one chat, I will now call a meeting, all of us together. And at that level, if they now, you now want them to tell you what is it that you are doing that they don't like. They will tell you. And don't hesitate to say you're sorry. You know, but some people won't be a guy lórí. Tó bá ti gbọ́gà lórí, kó lọ jẹ́. Wọ́n help ẹ láti fail. So once you do that, you pacify them, and things will start picking up. There were some people that were having such issues that came to me, this, almost crying. I said, okay, do this. And by the time the person came, thank you, madam. Things are much better in my department. So do one-on-one touch. After the one-on-one touch, now call a meeting of everybody together. And you too, you must lead by a good example. Be a leader indeed. That's my little advice.
Thank you very much, Ma. I learned one more thing today. Leadership skill. Thank you very much. Mayowa Adeyeye, unmute yourself. Please don't bring story here. Ask your question straightforward.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Mayowa Adeyeye. I'm from Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources. Thank you. The facilitator, while you were talking about query, I wanted to ask a question. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. When you were talking about query, I wanted to ask a question with regards to the acknowledging query by the, so to speak, quote and unquote, the offending officer. So what if the officer refuses to collect the query based on the fact that he feels that it's going to be victimized or intimidated, and he refuses to collect the query? Then you talk about, you hinted on review of the public service rule. In the composition of the PMB, is there any thinking as to whether the union can be given an observer status in the PMB? Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I will start from your last question and observation joined together. One, I am not part of those reviewing the PSR, and as per the union being an observer, I actually don't know what role they want to play there, because that is a very serious business. And the union playing, I'm aware that, is it TESCOM, when I was in education district, there was this PMB that the union leader was invited because it was a very serious case. But I see no reason why the union should be represented on that. Because one, the Civil Service Commission or the commission representative there, you know, we are the employer. And we are there to ensure that due diligence is done, that our officer is not being, what will I call it? Being witch hunted or just being maltreated. We are there there were some cases that they will say this is where they are going, even the permanent secretaries there, and I will stand up and say, no, sir, this is my own minority view, and I ensure that such views are included in the minutes. If it is not there, I won't sign, and my officers do the same. And by the time the minutes get to the commission, we do our submission. All the commission members will look at it one after the other and endorse if they are okay. And when the submission has been signed by all the members of the commission, and the day that it is to be presented for consideration, there will be fair hearing. The officers will be invited, the DA and HR will be invited, whoever else that needs to be invited will be invited. So the officer will be given another opportunity to defend his or herself. So the commission is doing a very good job in trying to defend the interests of the staff. So I don't think the union has any issues to be there on the board. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. Mr. Mayowa, are you okay with that response?
Yeah, the first question, she has not answered the first question.
What was the question?
Oh, sorry, what was your first question?
The first question is, what if the officer refuses to collect the query because
yes, thank you. Refusal to collect, yes, we have cases like that. Some, even if you send DHL to take the query there, they will tell them at the gate not to allow the DHL in. All you need to do is make a report. This letter was taken to so-so place on so-so date with the picture of just make some, and they refused to let us in. The officer refused to take the query from us. And, you know, we are in the age of social media too. Use the officer's WhatsApp number. Do the query, send it to his WhatsApp. By the time all these things are put together and you present it, it is acceptable for the PMB to go on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. Now we will now switch over to, I'm still coming back to the people that raise their hand up, but in order not to be partial because of time, so let me just switch over to our chat box. So Temitope Godi say, thank you for the lecture, Doctor. Please, when delivering the lecture, Ma, you mention battery as an example of gross misconduct. Ma, what does the word mean, Ma?
Okay.
The word battery.
Okay, you want me to, or you are still reading?
Okay, do you want to note it down, then you answer them once and for all?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that battery is for Temitope. Okay, another one. Okay, is it Temitope battery? Okay. Taiwo Fadairo, thank you for the beautiful and insightful lecture, Ma. Could you please share the slide, Ma? Okay, don't worry, I will share the slide. That's not for facilitator, I will do that. Let me talk about battery. Okay. Dosumu Jamiu, still want more light on barter as misconduct. I think that's the same thing. Thank you for wonderful interaction. Okay, Temitope Gbode again. Okay, you are repeating the question. All right. Okay, Kushoro Kabido. Thank you, doctor. My question, the composition of disciplinary PMB is different, okay, is different from composition of promotion. Okay, I think that one is asking the difference between of the same PMB, but disciplinary and promotion PMB, the difference between and the composition. That is the composition of the disciplinary PMB and the composition of promotion. Okay. That one is for Kushoro. Okay, I think for now, okay, Infinite, thank you, ma, for can PMB hold on absentee? Okay. Anonymous name asking that. Thank you, ma, for the lecture. Can PMB hold in absentia of the officer? Do you take that, ma?
Okay. Yes, I got it.
All right, ma. And at the same time, Rosemary Ogumu said, thank you very much, ma, for the lecture. Please, in a situation where a superior assaults a subordinate, a superior assaults a subordinate, who is he supposed to be handled, or what is it to be done? I don't know if you get that, ma.
What the officer is supposed to do, right?
Yes, that is if the superior assault the subordinate. So what's the subordinate supposed to do? Who should we report to? I think that's where is what he wants. Bello OA. Thank you, ma, for your wonderful presentation. Can you please shed more light on suppression of record? Suppression of record. That's from Bello OI. Buhari Oluwa Sheung. Thanks so much, ma, for sharing more light of the PSR. What will happen if any officer never at all to exit service? I don't understand that question. What will happen if any officer never at all to exit service?
Okay, does not want to exit.
Okay. That's an error. Oracle will kick that person out now.
Yeah.
Okay. Omar said, thank you, ma, for the lecture. Please share the slide. I will do that. The rest are sure. I think that's all for now from chat box.
Okay.
You have the floor, ma.
Thank you. Battery is the unlawful, intentional, and harmful or offensive physical contact with another person. Did you get that? It is the unlawful, intentional, and harmful or offensive physical contact with another person. It is actual physical act of violence. That's the meaning of battery. The second question is, can the promotion, what is the constitution, right, of PMB promotion?
And disciplinary.
Yes, I have given them that of discipline. For promotion, it is even the same. For promotion, officers on GL 07 to GL 12, 3 permanent secretaries, including the host permanent secretary, 3 substantive directors, minimum, they can have 5. Representative of the Civil Service Commission, representative of the Office of Establishment and Training. So that is the composition of PMB promotion for grade level 7 to 12. For grade level 13 to 17, we have 3 permanent secretaries, including the host permanent secretary, 3 substantive directors minimum. But remember, for discipline, for GL 13 to 17, it is 5 substantive directors. But for promotion, they can make do with 3, between 3 and more, as many as they can accommodate. Then the representative of the Civil Service Commission, representative of the Office of Staff and Training, representative of the PSO, Public Service Office. Harassment. Okay, can PMB be held in absentia? Before I say yes, I want to tell you my experience. Not too long ago, is it earlier this month? Last month, we were invited for a PMB. And when we got there, we realized that the officer being disciplined is not, that was not her parent ministry. So I advised them that that cannot fly. What we were doing that day can only be regarded as an administrative, what is it called? Administrative inquiry. That they should now, all our findings at that sitting should now be put together and sent to the parent ministry of the officer. Lo and behold, the officer, the PMB was set at the parent ministry of the officer. Guess what? The officer refused to show. She didn't show. But we went ahead. We confirmed, 1, that she was served the notice. They brought the file from the office. We saw it where she signed, that she collected it. Secondly, calls were put through to her. Her phone was going through, and she refused to pick it. We went ahead. We took our decision. In fact, it's so unfortunate for that lady, because had it been she came, she would have been given a softer landing. But her absence, the PS tried to cajole me I said, "Oga, sir, no, sir." So we took a decision on her. So that an officer is not present, as long as there is evidence that the officer was served. Several examples. I just remembered another one, but because of our time, so it will still go on. Sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is, Lagos State frowns so seriously at that. And any officer who is being harassed should report. There are some telephone numbers were given. Recently, that agency invited all the NHRs to a training session. Please, the officer that asked that question, I wouldn't mind if you can go to your DA and HR, and if you can, go to her Yes, you are from a environment, right? She was there. She was present at that training. There are steps to be taken. And if you feel it's not being handled properly, you can get in touch with me. I will give you guidance on what steps to take. What is suppression of record? Suppression of record is an attitude put up by an officer. You have those informations with you and you decided to hide it. You did not bring it to the fore. You are suppressing record. And some, even at the point of entry, they suppress information because they are so desperate, they want to get that job. Instead of them to tell the panel, sir, I also have a master's degree in so thing, in case in future. But out of fear, they will not allow it to be said. But had it been they say it, it would be on record. But fear does not allow them. So when they now want to present it later, after they've gotten the employment, it will not be accepted. They will ask them, did you declare it at the point of entry? No, sorry, it cannot be, it cannot fly. So that is trying to suppress record, your personal record or official record. You have information on something and you are hiding it and keeping it to yourself alone because you want to make some gains out of it. And an officer who does not want to exit, Mr. Jami already answered you. The oracle will exit the officer. Thank you. I think those are all the questions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. We have many questions, and tomorrow is Tuesday. Madam still need to go home and come back tomorrow for office report. I will only take, I'm pleading now, I will only take out of 6, I will take 4. 4. And that 4 will be random picking. So please, if I don't call you or take your question, don't be angry. You have to be fair. Don't let us be selfish. Madam has to go home. All right. John Olawale. John Olawale, unmute yourself, your name and your ministry.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
Good evening, sir. I'm fine, sir. I'm John Olawale from Ministry of Education, District 3. I want to say a big thank you to the facilitator, the doctor. And I just have a question which I want to ask. And that question is on the petition. Now, when a petition is anonymous, is it put into consideration for action or was it done?
It is a no-no. It cannot fly. It's what part of the slide. It is a no-no. No anonymous petition is ever considered.
All right, but why I asked this question was that there was a particular petition written by an anonymous petitioner. It was not even written on paper. It was sent through a WhatsApp message. And a query was issued on that particular petition. Petition has no name, has no solid background, and an action was taken on that officer.
Yoruba say, tí kò bá nídìí, obìnrin ò ń jẹ́ kúmólú.
Thank you, ma. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ma, ẹ ṣé ma.
So for that person to have sent in a WhatsApp message, it shows that that person can be reached. It's a number he or she used.
Yes.
And I learned that from your introduction, you are in education district. Probably the person is even a student that is being harassed by a teacher and cannot come out. So is such that one, it is different from what they wrote on paper. No name, no address. This one can be traced now. You said as a WhatsApp message. It can be traced.
WhatsApp,
yes, it can be traced. I think that is that. It can be traced. So you can't, so that means that issue needs to be thoroughly investigated. So what they were just trying to do is to investigate the authenticity of that.
Thank you,
that
ma.
information.
Thank you, Dr. Ma. Well taken. Bale Rashidat, please, quick, let your question be brief, please. Bale Rashidat, are you with us? Unmute yourself. Hello, you have the floor, your name, your ministry. Bale, unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, ma.
My question goes on the issue
your
of
name, your ministry.
My name is Brother Rashida Tolarunke from Apapa Gomu Local Council Development Area. Thank you for your lecture, ma. My question goes on the issue of the resignation and the withdrawal. If the person prefer to pay a month salary, I want to ask, is it the gross salary the person will pay or some deduction will be deducted from it? That's my question. Thank you, ma.
Thank you. The person is supposed to pay the gross, but I don't concern myself much. I refer them, go to SCO, they will tell you how much you need to pay. But it is the gross that ought to be paid.
All right. Like I said, okay, we have picked two, so we are going to, okay. Omolara Quadri, your ministry, your name and your ministry. Unmute yourself from your end, Omolara.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Jamil, the moderator.
Yes,
thank you so much, ma, for the deep insights to the topics. So my question is this, ma.
Your name, your ministry.
My name is Omolara Tawa Quadri from Debt Management Office.
All right.
So my question is, when you mentioned about letter of advice, I want to ask, is this letter of advice same as warning letter? Thank you, ma.
You are referring to the steps, the first steps the superior officer ought to take on an officer who is not behaving right. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Letter, I didn't say letter of advice. I said, I'm coming, I'm trying to, your sorry, I'm trying to. It shall be the duty of every superior officer, as soon as he observes any fault or shortcoming in the work or attitude of a subordinate, to bring it to such officer's attention. Is that what you mean? Please allow her to speak to me so that I can really answer her. And the next thing I said that after calling the attention of the officer to have you observed that you've been doing this lately, you've been coming late, all the assignments have been given you recently, I have had to return it over and over again, you keep repeating the same thing. After that, the officer is to be counseled and mentored and coached, but it will just be documented. I didn't talk about letter of advice. No, it's not a letter of advice. Those steps being taken by the superior officer should be documented for record purposes.
All right.
All right, ma.
Thank you, ma. Let me play the dice here. Okay. Tunji Lambo, you have the floor.
Please, before Tunji Lambo, something just came to my mind. I saw that lady was not satisfied. The letter that officer will get is a query. After all those steps have been taken, the letter to be given to that officer is a query. Either you call it query or you call it letter of preliminary objection. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Jamil.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Tunji Lambo, you have the floor. Your name, your ministry.
Okay. My name is Olatunji Lambo. My current ministry is Economic Planning and Budget. I am a planner. I want to thank the facilitator for this very beautiful lecture. Thank you very much, ma'am. For a lot of us that are not in the admin cadre, in the planning and some other cadres, lectures like this are very, very, very useful for us. Very useful indeed for us, ma'am. Thank you very much. And thank you also, the host, for making this happen. My question is in two parts now, and it may be somewhat applied. I would like to know, ma'am, what happens. Number one, I would like to ask what the minimum years and the maximum years one can an officer can use in a place of posting. And then when you've used that maximum year and a posting comes from PSO or a single letter comes from your ministry and the accounting officer, either political or career accounting officer, refuses to let that officer leave. I want to know what the implication is now to the officer as regards the place of new posting that he hasn't gone to report.
Interesting. But I overheard Mr. Jamil saying that you shouldn't ask any question that was not discussed under this topic. However, yes, we all have this understanding that minimum years an officer should spend in a place ought to be 3 years, you know. But you are under you are not on your own. I have spent over 4 years in the commission, and the heaven cannot fall. So it depends on several factors. And once your superior officer is not interested, or is interested in you and doesn't want you to be moved, it shows that your services are still needed. So you can just go and meet the person. Please, ma, please allow me to go. I actually went to request for this reason, for that reason. Plead with them. Can you measure it? So that's my little advice.
All right, Mr. Tunji Lambo, I think the question lies on refusal of deployment. To my best knowledge, if you refuse deployment, is misconduct. The PNB can be set up. And today's circular on deployment now, like someone came to me and said I was not they didn't give me release letter. I told the person, go and read the circular very well. The last paragraph before the service-wide, whatever they wrote, they have stated it that this letter serve as looking very well as release letter. So you can be released because the HOS signatory is supersede any signature. So if your boss don't want you to go, your boss need to write to PSO, refer to that circular that please, I still need the service of this person, because immediately the deployment come out, your salary will be moved immediately to the present office. And if you don't go, still saying maybe your boss don't want to go, if the other office, your deployment office, want to do what they call audit, this audit exercise, every month exercise, and they say that you are not there, you can be, they can HOP your money and they give you a query. So that is under refusal. So it's not an excuse that my boss don't want me to go, or they don't release me. First of all, go and appear there and lay your comment, please. I'm waiting for a release letter. But to me, that circular alone is enough for you as a release letter. But that doesn't mean you should not do the needful because of your documentation by record of service and what have you. So that is my own experience on that. So I don't know, I stand to be corrected. Only one person to be called now, please and please and please. Like I said, don't let us be selfish. This is to 8. We still keep Madam at office and she's still going far. So I will call only one person, and that person, after your question, after just your question, you will be the one to appreciate Madam on behalf of all participants as our own tradition here. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Let me. I'm trying to do. Okay, Adedeji, Badejo, unmute yourself. Your name, Adedeji. All right, Adedeji is not there. Okay.
Good evening. I'm here.
Okay. Good evening. Your name, your ministry. I'm ready to vote of thanks.
My name is Badejo Adedeji from Ministry of Environment and Water Resources.
All right.
My question. Thank you very much, sir. Madam Eshigo Adupe ma binu pe keeping you. Ọba to show enough by to ma show you.
Amen.
Sir, my question is this compulsory retirement, can we say is punitive?
Yes, it is.
Hello? Okay,
It is.
Okay. Because I've had personal situation whereby somebody is being retired compulsorily, and there was nothing about whether an offense has been committed. So I don't know. Probably they didn't make that known, sir. So I need to just clear. Is it punitive or I mean? So once you say it's punitive, no problem. I'm okay
It
then.
is punitive.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Thank you so much, man. So the responsibility given to me, if you allow me, I'll speak Yoruba.
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Jami, ẹ ṣé
Go
gan
ahead,
sir, mo
sir.
dúpẹ́. Ẹ ṣé gan. Àkọ́kọ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tó fún wa ní ẹ̀mí àtàlàfíà láti wà ní àsìkò yìí. Ọlọ́run tó fún yín ní ọgbọ́n náà láti máa ṣe kínní, á túbọ̀ máa fún yín lọ́gbọ́n sí i. Á dẹ̀ increase ọgbọ́n yẹn. Mr. Jami, ẹ ṣé gan, ẹ̀yin náà ti try. A dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ọlọ́run á bá aṣọ yín, á bá aṣọ ìdílé yín, á dẹ̀ jẹ́ kẹ́ rí èrè nínú iṣẹ́ tẹ́ ń ṣe. Ma, thank you so much, ma. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. We know you as a woman of power. You know you as a woman of commitment. We know you are committed to the job and you are committed to your family. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín again. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ọlọ́run á máa ṣọ́ yín. Á dẹ̀ máa fún yín ní oore nínú gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ń ṣe. Ẹ bá kí àwọn family yín náà. Kẹ́ bá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn pé wọ́n allow yín títí ẹ fi the time yìí pẹ̀lú wa. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Mr. Adedeji, thank you very much. Jankalawi Afusa, I'm sorry. Shikpe Said, I'm sorry. Angela Brown, I'm sorry for not picking you tonight. Please, like I said, don't let us be selfish. Let's release Madam to go home. So let your emojis keep on coming to appreciate Madam. Ma, thank you very much for this practical, insightful session. In fact, I enjoy all the case studies and I've noted it down. Unfortunately, I'm not part of the eligible this year. Otherwise, if they can allow me to just try, for Google, but in addition to, I remember something. In addition to the PNB's format on the promotion and what's it called, discipline. I think another disparity there is in the discipline. The representative of justice will be there.
Yes, Ministry of Justice.
Yes. Why the promotion? No justice. So promotion justice. So I think let me just add that. So
thank you.
Once again, thank you very much.
Yes, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. We are all together, and I feel it's a pleasure to impact knowledge. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best. Amen. I'll see you at the top and congratulate you.
Amen.
So congratulations ahead. You're doing a good job.
Let's see your emojis. Receive the prayer from anointing. All right, ma. Thank you very much, ma.
Bye-bye.
Good night, ma. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Ma.
Amen.
Yes, ma. So tomorrow we have another session by 2:00. I will send the notice across. We need to be part of that tomorrow too. You can join our YouTube channel for more and access our library for our past session, and join our channel for updates. Good night. Have a lovely night rest. Ireu.